Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to make the zombie text effect, and I'm just going to begin. I'll press T to get the text tool, and I'm going to click right there and type the word zombie. And the font I'm using is called Schlop, right here. I'm going to write the name somewhere here on screen so you guys can better see that and use it if you want to. What I want to do is increase the spacing between the letters right here, so I'm just going to come up with the spacing. Let's set this value to like -10. Okay, maybe let's try -20. That looks pretty, no, that's not good. Let's go back to -10. Okay, that looks good. What I want is like all of these characters to be just not touching. Something like that. Next, what I want to do, I'll come over to path, click on object to path, and I'll give this a black fill color. And now this text object is a vector path. So if I press N and I can, if I select it, I can now adjust these nodes. So what I want to do is I want to adjust these, some of these like dripping effects, just so they look a little bit smoother. What I'm going to do is start right here at the top. And you can see this one right here. I don't love that. Just going to delete this node. I'm going to select this node and I'm going to turn this into a symmetric node like this. And that looks much better. Let's do the same thing right here. I'm going to delete this node. I'm going to take this node, I'm going to pull this down. And let's turn this into a symmetric node like that. And let's pull it out. That looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go around the text and make these adjustments. Okay, that right there looks much better. What I want to do next is just compress the text, right? So I want to simply take this handle and just move it down to about that much. And then what I want to do is I'll come over to path, click on split path, and now each of the characters is a separate path of its own. So what I want to do is take this O and move it out, and I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to place the circle right here and make it smaller until I can see something like that. And I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to place it here, and I want to duplicate it. I'm going to place this copy right here. Next, what I want to do is I'll click on the black object, press N to get the nodes tool, and I'm going to take these top nodes and move these down, hide them behind the red object. And I'll select the red object, hold shift, select the black object to path and union, and I'll take the red object. I'll turn snapping on and I'll snap it on top of this object like this. Select them both for now and I'll just group them like this. And now I'll bring them in here and just place them, turn snapping off, and I want to place this right here. If I want, I can now make it bigger, but I don't want this to be too big. I think right about there should do the job. I think that looks not too bad. What I want to do next is I'll click on the black object and I'm going to duplicate that. Let's give that a different color. And then I'm going to, with this selector, I'll come over to path and I'll apply a dynamic offset. And when you do that, you automatically move to the nodes tool. So let's just take this node and pull it out to apply an offset. Let's lower this object to the bottom, and then we can zoom in and press N again to get the nodes tool, and let's adjust this to about the thickness of that much. And then let's duplicate this object. Let's give that a different color. Let's lower this to the bottom, and again press N to get the nodes tool. Let's pull it out like this. And that looks pretty good. And I want to now select the red object and the yellow object, and with them both selected, I'll come over to path, click on object to path, and then I will give them both this purple color right here. And now one more thing I want to do is select the outer object and just lower that a few steps using the keyboard. to get something like this. Let me click on the or select the black object, and let's give that a different color, this green color, and let's increase the lightness. So come out to fill and stroke menu, and let's increase the lightness to about 37. That looks pretty good. Next, what I'll do is I'll make the vector eyeball. So I'm just going to take this red object, move it out, place it here. Let's get the text out the way, and let's just zoom in on this. So I'm going to click on the circle, and I'm going to give that a white fill color, and let's add a black stroke for now. Let's make the stroke thinner. Actually, you need the stroke to be way thinner. Let's give that a size of 5 for now. And then I'm going to duplicate that, place it about here, somewhere here. Let's scale it up a little bit. Place it like right here. And then I'm going to click on the bottom object and duplicate that, lower that one step. Click on the top object, hold shift, click on that object, do a path and difference. That leaves me with this result, and I'm going to remove the stroke color. I'm going to click on this object and remove the stroke color. Next, I will select the bottom object, Control D and duplicate that, hold Control and Shift, scale this down. And while you're scaling this down, make sure this option is unchecked. When scaling objects, scale the stroke width by the same proportion. That needs to be unchecked, so that we have the same stroke size between the two circles. Let's scale this down to about that much. I'm going to select the smaller circle. Let's give that a light green color like this one. And then I'm going to duplicate this again. Let's scale this down to about that much. And let's remove the stroke. Let's give that a darker green color like that one. And then what I want to do is I'm going to select the lighter circle, duplicate this one, and just move it like right about there. And I'm going to click on the bottom one again, duplicate that, lower that one step. Click on this circle. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. And then I will hold shift and select the bottom object and do a path and difference. Let's remove the stroke from this object, and let's give that a gray fill color for now. And what I want to do next is I'll click on this smaller circle, duplicate that. Let's give that a white fill color. Let's scale this down, and let's just place this right here. Duplicate this, place it right here. Let's scale it down to roughly that size. Next, I'm going to select both of these gray objects. Let's give that a black fill color, and let's lower the opacity to about close to 30%. I'm going to select the green circle, and I'm going to give that a green stroke, so this dark green color. And I'm going to select the white circle, and I'm going to give that a purple stroke. But I'm actually going to make the stroke paint much darker. So lightness of about 15, I think. That looks pretty nice. And so we are pretty close. I'm just going to select this smaller eyeball and everything inside of it. Just scale it up a little bit. That looks much better. That looks much better. And I'm also going to select the white circle, and I'm going to increase the stroke width to 10 pixels. That's too much. Let's go with 8. And I just want to simply do some detailing right now to just make it a little bit more realistic. So to do that, I'm going to press B to get the Bezier pen. I'm going to select the defaults mode and just zoom in. Let's just make some simple basic details. Let me increase the opacity, remove the stroke, and let's just adjust this. I'm going to select over all of these and do a path and union. And we can give it the same color as this black stroke. So that looks pretty nice. And so with that, our vector eyeball is complete. I'm going to select all of it, press Ctrl G, and group it together. And let's just place it right here. Right there makes sense. Next, what I'm going to do is select the green object, press N to get the nodes tool, and then select all of these nodes, and hold Shift, select this node, and I'm going to press Ctrl C to copy them, and I'm going to hover my mouse right here outside of the text, Ctrl V to paste it, and I will give this object, and I'm going to separate this. So with this selected, come over to path and click on split path, and let's make this object the stroke color of the eyeball. So let's do that. Let's give it the same color, and let's take this object, bring it up to the top, and I want to snap it right there, right on top of these of the green object. And we can now just simply lower this object one step to just get an effect something similar to this one. That was basically the whole point of doing all of that. And pretty much the text is almost complete. I just need to do some detailing right here. So we're just going to get right into that. Let me simply select the green object, press N, and I'm going to add a couple nodes right here. So I'm going to add a node right there. I'm going to add another node right here. I'm going to select both of these nodes and make them corner nodes. I'm then going to add another node right here, one node right here, and another node right here. So basically 3 nodes in the center of these 2 corner nodes. And then what I want to do is take these nodes, move this down, and I'm going to move this node a little bit lower like this. I'm going to take this node, place it right here somewhere. Maybe I need another node right here. Okay, I'm going to make this a corner node. I'm going to select this node, turn this into a smooth node, and I can just move this lower. So let's do that. And so I've done this for one character, the first one, and I'm just going to go around the text and do the same process for all of these. And there is a lot more detailing we can do to this if you want to, but I think for the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to keep it to this much. I might do it for the thumbnail though. And with that said, that is it for this tutorial. If you liked it, you may also like one of these.